determines the decision boundary locally. So for one nearest neighbor, we assign each document to the class if its closest neighbor based on the closest neighbor. Suppose the closest neighbor for any document is read document, then we will assign that document to read document class. Now, one nearest neighbor is not very robust. I already discussed that it may be affected from the outliers or noisy part of things, noisy things also, noisy classes or noisy information. Next point is the most robust alternative to find the k is to take the odd, either 3 or 5, like that. What is the advantage of selecting odd number for k nearest neighbor? Means it reduces the condition of tie. Suppose you with even numbers, just assume the conditions with even number, that one document, red document is near to one blue document, and one yellow document is near to one red document and one blue document. Then which class you will assign? Suppose you have a odd pair, then chances will be reduced. Means you cannot divide then equal number of pairs after that if you select the odd numbers. So this is the it is also called case based learning and memory based learning and lazy learning also. Sorry. You know the Voronoi diagram? Voronoi diagram, you know? Did you hear about Google's post office problem like that? Google's post office problems in data structure. Did you hear about Voronoi diagram earlier? No. No, there is no triangle. This is not triangle. Actually, suppose you are going to some new place and open the Google map and you want to just knowledge of nearest restaurant, vegetarian restaurant, then you can identify then you can search such information in Google Earth, in Google Map or in Google Earth. How it works? It uses such kind of Voronoi diagram based concept. And k nearest neighbor algorithms also converts the entire data into same format. How Voronoi diagrams work? Suppose this is a simple scheme to calculate the Voronoi diagram. Suppose we have 3 points, we will divide it like that. Okay. Now another point came, then we will just check that these are the distance between them. Minimum distance, we will take perpendicular line and cut them. Now suppose another point came, we will calculate the minimum distance from everyone. Here this is minimum distance, so we will cut this like that. Sorry. This is the process of creating Voronoi diagram. Not clearly drawn, but this is the process. Just take the minimum distance, draw perpendicular. Then it will create the Voronoi diagram. And every Voronoi diagram, here this is one point based Voronoi diagram, but you can calculate the multiple point based Voronoi diagrams, and based on this Google Maps or Google Earth calculates the nearest post office or nearest like that. It divides the entire plane into such kind of cells by using this technique, and based on this technique it identifies the nearest available given options. Now the decision boundary. Actually, KNN algorithm locally defines the decision boundaries between classes. Far away points do not influence each other in classification. This is the problem with Naive Bayes classifier and Rokio classifier. It affects with outliers, but here it locally identifies the boundaries. Here it is also discussed that boundaries are usually polyhedra as used in Voronoi diagram. Similarity matrices and complexity. Nearest neighbor based methods depends upon the similarity or distance metric. The simplest or continuous m dimensional instance space is Euclidean distance. For m dimensional case, you can consider the Euclidean distance here in this case also only, but for m dimensional binary instances space you can use Hamming distance. Cosine similarity or TF-IDF vectors is highly effective. You can use that for similarity measures with documents if you are working with text classification. This is the testing time, where B represents the average number of training documents in which text documents words appears. Now this is simple illustration. Now suppose these are the red documents, these are the blue documents. Now another new documents came. We have to classify them. So we will calculate the cosine similarity with nearest neighbors. And after that we can analyze that this new document will go through blue document. Now this is the same case where anomalies occurred with Rokio text classification system. Now see what happens here. Now again new documents. Now what we will do, we will just calculate the cosine similarity. Here we are not going to calculate the centroid, just calculating the cosine similarity with the nearest documents. We find that the cosine similarity angles are smaller here with two blue documents, and these are in majority, so it will go through blue documents. But earlier in Rokio classification, due to the nearness with centroid of red classification, we wrongly classified that document with red document sets. So this is the advantage of k nearest neighbor classification. No feature selection is necessary. It scales well with large number of classes. It do not need to train n classifier for n classes. Classes can influence each other, as in previous example we have already seen. Scores can be hard to convert to probabilities. No training is necessary. Sometimes without training you can use the k nearest neighbor classification algorithm. May be expensive at test time, more accurate than Naive-Bayesian or Rokio classification. Naive-Bayesian is one of the famous classification technique, but k nearest neighbor classification technique is more accurate. And high variance, low bias. Naive-Bayesian has low variance but high bias. High bias means it will be highly biased towards the noisy entry during the classification. Now I will go to the multi-class classification. Till now I was discussing about binary classification, where I was considering about whether class will be yes or class will be no. Now there will be multi-class classification. There are a lot of different techniques to achieve the multi-class classification. Yesterday I already discussed that multi-class classification techniques are till now are not very efficient. A lot of research work are still going on. If you want to do research on multi-class classification or machine learning, there are some conferences, very famous conferences known as NIPS, NIPS, and these conferences not only provides papers free of cost, but also provide their presentation video free of cost. Means every year people after conference, in conference people present their work that we developed this new multi-class classification technique, and they present their work. You can get those papers video with paper and their video in videolectures.net. And NIPS is A+ conference. Another conference is ICML PKDD, but for that conference videos may not be available. But with NIPS all videos are available in videolectures.net site. So if you want to go through at that level and you want to solve some problems with multi-class classification, then you can proceed. But I already said it requires a lot of mathematical background, a strong mathematical background. Because now classification is like a mathematical optimization problem. What type of new mathematical function you can develop to achieve better classification? You know about multi-criteria decision making? This is a very simple technique for robotics, used in robotics. Suppose there is a robot and whether to means for that robot whether to go forward or take a turn, for that it calculates all environment, considers all environmental variable and takes decision. We also use same kind of criteria to take decision, but in case of human it is very efficient and perfect, but in case of robot they apply multi-criteria decision making. The most basic part of multi-criteria decision making system is, suppose you have a criteria like if you go through this, then risk is R1, this direction, then risk is R1. If you go through this direction, then risk is R2. If you go through this direction, then risk is R3. If you go through this direction, then risk is R4. Then which direction you will move? And after that there will be some criteria that if you go through this direction, then this will be your criteria. These are the precaution steps you can take. So what you will do, for every criteria, for every instances, and for every criteria, you will create the matrix, and the simplest possible technique is just to multiply the criteria and decision, and then just select the highest one. This is, or other thing is just to take sum of different criteria before taking the decision. Sum of criteria or product of criteria. These are the simplest technique For example, you have a different features. Suppose you are going to identify that this word will be very important for a given document. Why? Because its frequency is high. It occurs early in the document. How you can calculate how early it comes in the document? You will calculate the length of the document. That this document contains 1000 words and that word's position is just 10. So its score will be 1000 minus 10. I mean this is the earliest score for that document. Then what will be the importance of that word? Frequency into that score. This is an example of multi-criteria decision making. You have two criteria to identify the importance. So similarly, there are different schemes developed for multi-class classification. One is based on multi-criteria decision making also. In that case, they consider all classes and their available features to identify that which class we can assign for a given data set, a given part of the data set. There are some other schemes also which are used to assign the particular documents or particular set of documents to a particular class by considering all class at a time. Another approach is take two pair of classes and then assign, just as discussed here. I didn't describe very depth here. Depth means content here. I didn't give the depth content here, content in depth here. But because this is a new research topic and you can explore it, I had given supported research study material for that part. So another part may be one to all that I already discussed yesterday. Suppose these are the research problems. Suppose you have multiple classes, then one to all means just divide the entire number of classes into two parts, positive or negative. Now this is the division. This will go through positive side, this will go through negative side. Again divide this part into positive or negative side. Like that. Finally you will have a structure like that. So this is a one technique known as one to all based multi-class classification. Here you use the binary classifiers to identify all multiple classes. Another technique is one to one classifier. Here this is also a binary classification technique, where you just suppose here we have okay, this is also one to all based classification, same as here, as I discussed earlier. Now there may be one more, like one to one classifier. Or next multi-class classifier is error correcting code based multi-class classifier. So these are the some basic multi-class classifiers techniques. Now you can develop some, or you can come up with some new technique also. Now this is the division, that which classification strategies can be applied to which category. For example, first category known as binary classifier. You can directly use decision tree based classifier, neural networks, k nearest neighbor based classifier, Naive Bayesian classifier, and support vector machines for binary classification. And you can extend those things for multi-class classification also. Like support vector machine, you can extend the support vector machine for multi-class classification. These are the references. Now support vector machine. Do you feel boring session like that, or okay? Because it requires a lot of mathematical steps between the stages of algorithm. Actually, entire classification algorithm is a mathematical optimization kind of things. So if you are very good in mathematics, you can come up with a lot of different idea or strategies. And if you are not good in mathematics, but if you want to apply in text mining problem, then you can use those available techniques and come up with different scheme to solve new problems of text mining. Means there are different type of research. First is solve something new or achieve some new things, or try to solve existing, try to improve the existing techniques, or use the existing technique to solve some new problems. So you can use those classifiers and you can solve some new problems, or you can come up with some new idea also. For example, suppose before going to support vector machine, just for relaxation I am giving this. Suppose you have a simple task like that. Email spam filtration. Till now I will explain the basic technique that is used till now. How, suppose you already know, you are already handling lot of email accounts. Suppose you see your Google account, Gmail account, then you will find that Gmail automatically sends some mail to a spam folder, and most of the time you consider those spam mail as a spam also. You never say that no, this is not a spam. Means very few time you say that this mail sent by mistake sent to the spam folder, this should not be spam. So how they decide that those mails are spam? Now first I will show that how classification techniques can be used here, basic. So first come up with some features that you can use to identify that this mail will be spam. First feature may be direct email ID. Second features may be Google generally or Gmail generally scans all your mail in your mailbox and identify that what type of topics, what means the topics related mail you already generally read. Now you have to come up, now how can you use those two features for classification? I already discussed that how can we identify and calculate the rule. For example, in case of weather forecasting or a student portion, I discussed that student 1 having salary full-time job or part-time job, like this. Just compare your features with these features. Is it possible to calculate similar type of rule by using classification algorithm? What type of rule you calculated in earlier? Like for example, student 2 so you can calculate the rule, or your classification technique will calculate the rule for model documents, like students 1 salary greater than or equal to job purchase computer. Yes, this is your rule 1. Similarly, a lot of rules can be calculated. Okay, so if you apply, I am just going to explain that how you can use or extract features from text and apply for text classification. Means how text classification system works actually. Means how practically you will use the classification techniques to solve several problems of text. Now, is it possible to apply this technique with email spam filtration, classification with spam email filtration? So can you come up with some model solution? These are the very simple basic techniques. Can you develop some model that this may be the possible set of rules or like that? Then after that I will practically explain that how we can use classification algorithm to use those features, extracted features, and apply those features to particular set of algorithms and then get results. if you have if you get the experience of such kind of things, then you can easily do research on with text classification. With text clustering there is no problem, you can easily do, but with text classification it requires such kind of information. Either improve the basic mathematical part of text classification, or use such kind of techniques, or use the classification techniques, extract the features, calculate the relations between features, and develop the model. So can you develop a model? Just write and try that. How can you develop a system, classification based system, which can filter the spam emails? Just a practical test of what you got the basic idea from classification. Just write and try to develop. Try to think about some other features that can be used to filter the spam. You may read a lot of papers in spam filtration, email spam filtration. Then they say that they applied these features, these are the features, these are the important of those features. They applied this classification technique and got the result. This is the actual basics, how they got the result. What is the insight of those work? So now if you see the paper, like they applied these features, and based on these features they calculated this and got this result, then you can analyze that how their model is actually working, means insight of those models. So if you are able to come up with some new features and able to combine these two features and develop some model that this is possible, that's why if you say that you have these features, you applied SVM, people will not accept your paper unless they will find something creative in your features extraction. Either improve the SVM or come up with some unique features which actually influence the entire system or have a very good impact on entire system. Because after that combining is very simple, just collect the features, combine them. Machine learning technique, you already have classified label data, machine learning technique will identify those labels, work is finished. So your role is just feature selection, then people will accept your paper only if there will be some uniqueness.